Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm a Minadel, aka Green Grow Guy. First, I want to thank all of you guys for checking me out and giving me all the positive response on the videos. It is very much appreciated. If this is the first time that you guys are coming here, please make sure that you are hitting the subscribe and notification bell. Ding, 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 hit that jaw. Yes, hit it. Because I'm trying to get up in the algorithm of Philadelphia Urban Farmer, trying to do my big one. I'm already doing my big one, but I'm trying to get you to see that I'm doing my big one. All right. So usually today, guys, I'm out in the garden. I'm showing you guys something. I'm doing some kind of something. Okay. But this year, I made a point of showing a lot of the behind the scene things that go on. You know what I mean? Especially if you're considering making agriculture or alternative farming or urban farming, homesteading, or anything of that nature. If you're really interested in doing it and growing your stuff, I'm going to begin to show you some of the inside work or the before work before you go out and plant. You know what I mean? So you can be successful. You know what I mean? A lot of my videos, I will show you guys. You'll see all this beautiful green, luscious stuff, and nothing's dead. And I'm not going to say that I have a lot of bloopers. I'm not going to say that. But what I am going to say is that I had a lot of bloopers throughout the years that now I have learned and educated myself to the point that they don't really happen like that. Okay, so with that being said, I'm able to give you guys some information to save you guys some hassle at the end of the day, and that's always a good thing, right? So a lot of the information, we're going to start out, a lot of the information as far as how to take care of your plant, when, where, it's everywhere. It's on the actual packet of seeds. It'll be on the container of plant that you buy. You can Google it. You can take a picture of it and get some kind of app. So as far as how to take care of the plant, when to plant it, what type of lighting it needs, how to water, all this information you can find. One of the things that is very important is that you, especially when you're trying to do this serious, excuse me, y'all. This is my morning coffee here. Planning space, planning. Like what you're trying to do, what's your goal, what you're trying to accomplish, how much food you're trying to grow. This is a good thing to kind of project before you get started. So you don't become overwhelmed, so you're not planting 5,000 different things and you wind up growing one tomato because you're over invested. You know what I mean? I advise people to grow to your skill set that can take off or it could progressively grow, okay? Either way, it's still going to happen for you. So, as I don't want to say as an expert grower, I'm just going to say as somebody that's done this for a lot of years, because I have, all right? I don't get sucked into all kinds of hype, seed hype, all that, okay? One day we're actually going to have a whole dialogue about seeds, all right? And some of the things that we don't think about when it comes to seeds and things that we can do to, if we want to ensure the quality of seeds, the certain things that we can do as individuals to make that better. Okay, but right now I'm gonna show you guys how I get down for how I'm about to get down for 2026. First things first, pencil, bam. Second thing, boom, notepad, bam. Because I'm a beginner. I was born in '82, y'all. I still write notes. There's nothing wrong with using your phone for quick information and things like that. But I actually do like to write things down because even if I give somebody else the task at this point, you know what I mean? I want them to be able to have a quick reference point and know like so this book will be stationary everywhere. It'll kind of have like a blueprint of what everything is because everybody's not able to identify things and know what's going on like I do. And I can't tell you that my personal phone is always going to be available for said, task. Or I'm going to be around. You know what I mean? If I'm around, it's available. If I'm not, y'all know what it is. So I do like to make a note, you know what I'm saying? This helps me get what I need and only what I need. Because if you guys watch other TikTok videos, all the smears that you see about people that love plants, love gardening, spend their money, they faking sick because the scanner beep. And that's me, y'all. That's me. So I do have to regulate myself. Okay? Because I'll have Philadelphia looking like the Amazon jungle in like 2.2 seconds. I gotta control myself. I'm addicted to garden. I'm addicted. You know what I mean? And you will too once you could become like really successful when you start eating it because the food's addictive. It tastes so delicious. It's way better. All right. So with that being said, 2026. Bam. I'm gonna start there. That's all I gotta put. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this like this for a minute. As much as you need to detail it so that you understand what's going on, bam. How I start this out, guys, is spring. So everything that I want to put in pods, so when the weather gets a little warmer, I can just put directly out and start it on this grow. That's what I'm going to be writing down right now. All my leafy greens that I want to grow and gobble up on all year. That's what I'm about to plant right now. It's like a week and a half into March. If you live in my region, you know what I mean, which is Pennsylvania, you can start planting these things right now. Just protect them from like the last frost, which within the next couple of days is going to be over. You can guesstimate the weather. I have looked at the projected weather for the next week and a half, and we're not going to get a frost. So once we make it past the next week and a half, us getting a frost would be very unlikely. Like, you know what I mean? Now the temperatures may drop, but to actually get a hard frost that would damage your plants or your like little young seedlings, I don't think so. Especially because I'm protecting them inside of a grow container that's inside of a polycarbonate house. Okay, that is elevated. It's not sitting on the ground getting cold. So there's certain things that you can do, like I'm telling you, and this is preparation for the spring. Things that you see me do, but you don't see me write down in detail and have a system to know when my food is getting ready, what to do, when to do it. Because if you do put fertilizer on your food like potatoes, which I suggest you do, you know what I mean, potassium and phosphate is something that you're going to have to put on those potatoes and know when, or some type of feed to do something to do it. And usually those seeds that you buy that are already made have high concentrations of one or the other in it, if not both. Okay, so that's what's important, to know when you plant it, document it. Now, I do go out there and tag it, and I'll write on the tag the date. But things happen to the tag. Things happen to the tag. Y'all know things happen to the tag. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this is like a backup. So I know what's going on. And then I can make a determination. Okay, well, these been in here for 90 days. You know what I mean? Because some potatoes that you get will take 120 days, 150 days. And sometimes that's not what it says, but conditions change. It might rain more, it might be less sunny. These conditions that are on these seeds that we're about to get into and talk about, it's based on almost perfect conditions. So know that when things are changing and you're getting more rain than you're supposed to, or you're getting more sun than you're supposed to, or you're not watering it like you're supposed to, you begin to change its yield capacity. Okay, so I'm gonna stop running my mouth. Okay, y'all gonna realize that if you're new here. Okay, I run my mouth. All right, if you're already old and you watch my videos before, you know I run my mouth. So stop acting like you don't know. Nothing changed in 2026. Okay, right here, y'all, I got a bag. All right, and in this bag, through the off season, I will go around, and even in the beginning, like right now, if you go around these little variety stores, y'all, in the hood, they all got these little stands of seeds, right? Clock this tea. Okay, so these ones I think I got from the Family Dollar. They 4 for $1. Let me tell you something. 4 for $1.25. I don't know if y'all can see that $1.25, but it's $1.25. 4 for $1.25. Okay, that you ain't. But go buy these seeds. Don't talk about what they might be poisonous seeds. You eat Popeye's chicken. Stop playing. This is a very affordable for you to get, and some places you're allowed to use your EBT. To purchase seeds and stuff. So also looking at that, and Family Dollar might be one of those places because they accept EBT. So I mean, if you can go buy a bag of chips or some soda, you can pick up 4 seeds for $1.25 and slowly start your progress to food sustainability. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right, but getting into this bag. So I go a lot of places, guys. See, I collect seeds. Like I have a humongous seed vault, and it goes from name brand seeds, burpees. I like, you know. This year, y'all, we gonna work on sponsors this year, y'all. We working on them. All right. I love this product, Burpee. I love your product. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna reach out to you. You know what I mean? But I definitely would love to have a Burpee sponsorship because, guys, I buy a lot of their stuff. And I tell you guys to buy a lot of their stuff. And that's why I'm like, yeah, let's subscribe, hit the notification to be an algorithm. Because like I'm really excited to spread the word. So these are more expensive. They're like $1.99. But Don't go by my price, because you know at the end of the season they be like, we gotta get rid of these seeds, and then they start selling them for like 50% off and stuff like that, and then I grab them when the more and more they mark them down, the more and more I grab. Um, so with that being said, the things that I'm going to write down today that I'm going to start planting is, like I said, all the leafy greens, which would be things like collards, okay, spinach, okay. Um, I have a lot of spinach, y'all. And do y'all see what this say? That's right, 59 cents. See, y'all gonna stop playing with me. Talking about, I can't afford to grow. You can grow your own spinach. You might not be able to grow nothing else, but you can grow some 59-cent spinach. And it's a good amount of seeds in here, y'all. It's not like one seed. There's a lot of seeds in here. So, you know what I mean? And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far, I got 5 that I didn't collect. That's a lot of food. It's a lot of food in here. Like, you know what I mean? And once I put this in the soil that I already have established, it's just going to grow, y'all. It's really just going to grow. Now, am I going to do something once it gets to a certain point of maturity? Am I going to put nitrogen on it, like some bone meal? Yes. But the little sprinkle, then you water it and it stays in there for about a good 3 months. I don't got it. Guys, the rain, things like lettuce, and until it gets real hot, you know what I mean? That's when you're going to want to worry about protecting it and stuff like that. But honestly, lettuce, all these leafy green things, here in Pennsylvania, I got until like deep May to start worrying about them scorching up real bad. You know why? Because we have a nice spring, a nice abundant rainy spring. So what happens is even though, you know, they're more shallow rooted plants, because I can plant them elevated, I do a lot of alternative growing, and you guys are definitely going to see this. The roots and the way I feed them, the roots actually get a lot thicker, bigger plants. Okay, so it makes them a little more robust and resistant and a little more heat tolerant. You know what I mean? I'm trying to this year master it with spinach, but with collards and other things, I grew kale all winter, outside, in the open, snow on it and everything. Still green. So with that being said, as time goes on, you'll learn things. You'll learn what you can do and what you can't do. Pods, here's some lettuce here. I got this lettuce. I'm going to knock that down today. That's getting planted today. And I separate everything in categories. So these are like root vegetables, and they go down at certain times. Okay. These are squash. They go in a squash category. All right. They go down at separate times. Okay. And they go down in separate places. All right. Because you also have to learn, and I'm going to teach you guys this year about some companion planting. All right. And that's going to help your yields so that you're stuffing your face unapologetically with 59-cent seeds. Okay. Because you might say, I don't even be eating vegetables. I ain't a rabbit. You eat a lot of vegetables. Even though they're like bioengineered, it might not be real right now. You think you're eating a lot of vegetables, whether it's ketchup to whatever. Get into it. So, bam, going in. Tomatoes, I'm actually going to put in a pod. Oh, that's more spinach. Spinach is really good for you guys. So, I'm like really on this spinach thing. Because I want to increase the amount of spinach that I have so that I can eat it a lot and drink it in like smoothies and stuff. So I want my spinach production to go like through the roof because I actually want to consume a lot more of it throughout the year. And I really got through the winter, I took the time to really try to come back with information to tell you guys on, hey, you know what, I went to this market, their fruits and vegetables weren't bad. And one of the reasons why I really haven't eaten spinach is because it's not something that I continue to grow. Just through courses of events, like, you know, with the humans, with the family. And I had to give attention to other things, nothing imminent, you know what I mean? All wonderful things. And I started purchasing it, and one day I went in my refrigerator, I picked up a bag of spinach, and it was a bag of 365, y'all, and it was like liquidy. I was like, why did my spinach turn? Nope. Cut a cucumber, then it turned clear on the inside. And see, when you grow your own food, you know that's not what's supposed to happen. But, so, I was like, oh yeah, X-nay on that, and I'm just going to buy my seeds and grow it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't go fight the revolution. Don't argue with these people that they need to change the laws. They do. But until they do, you know what I mean, I'm going to take the other route as well as fight them to make sure that I'm not consuming things that I'm not sure exactly what they are. Poison or not poison. I just want to know what it is. And this is how I do it. So these are my zucchini. Yo, I grew so much squash last year. Let me tell you something. You get one successful squash plant, whether it's a zucchini, an eggplant, a yellow squash, you'll feed the whole community off of squash. Squash grows like crazy when you take care of it. And I go back and watch my other videos, y'all, from last year. We was going to club eggplant, club squash, like religiously. I got so many eggplant, so many squash. So goodbye. 59-cent variety. So you just gotta look around, y'all. And don't start getting all particular and funny. If you don't plant your 59-cent squash zucchini, okay? So what I do, guys, I'm actually going to plant these today. These are the carrots. I'm actually going to plant these today because of the fact that I know that what kind of weather that it needs. Ultimately, more tomatoes, guys, okay? Because I ordered... Guys, I am so excited to show you guys this finished product. There's a lot of renovation going on. You can actually go to my channel now. I have a couple videos posted. So I was really getting in on this spinach. Like, in my heart, I knew. Because I was so disappointed, y'all, that... Now, this is pumpkin. Okay, this is another squash. It's going to go in a squash pile. Now, this is something that I'm telling you guys, if you want it in October, you better plant it in, like, the end of May, June. All right, with your other squash, don't say, oh, I get it in this time. You're not going to have no pumpkin. You're not. Broccoli is another thing that I'm a pot and get ready to put out. So the tomatoes, the broccoli, and all these things I jot down. And I like make a schedule for myself. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to do this if you're only growing a certain amount of things. I'm growing enough this year that's going to feed a lot of people. Okay? This isn't the only amount of seeds that I have. I have a seed vault. You know what I mean? So it's thousands upon thousands of seeds. I'm just a collector, and you can never go wrong. Keeping these secure in dry places. I have them in Ziploc bags, containers, label, all kind of things. You know what I mean? Just keep them dry, keep them closed, keep them, store them right, and you can have them for a pretty long time. So with that being said, guys, this is how I start. And like, I'm definitely going to take the time this year to show you guys more behind the scenes or more of what I do to get prepared so I can show you that beautiful garden. And so you guys can also have one yourself. And even with that being said, you guys are going to see tons of stuff that I didn't kill. You know what I mean? Y'all saw how I tore my corn up last year. Like, it was going so pretty and I messed it up. So you have bloopers and you have things that go on. Like, you know what I mean? And you have animals that are fighting against you. You got a lot of things fighting against you in outside. But it's not something that it's easier. I tell you this. It's easier growing my own food and growing all of this and being able to eat it and aligning it with a water/rain schedule than running in a hamster wheel for it at a market with overpriced groceries. All right? So with that being said, I'm making it my mission this year as Green Grow Guy, you know what I mean, on YouTube to educate people more thoroughly about what goes on, things to expect for real, how to do it on a budget. You know what I mean? How to do it and make it realistic for the common person that can't go to Home Depot and spend $5 on a little teeny plant of mint because y'all can't eat that. You know what I'm saying? All these seeds that I got right here probably cost me about $10. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lot of food for $10. A lot. Like, you know what I mean? And even if you only get 50% of this to grow, it's still a lot of food. And that's definitely possible with just putting it in healthy soil, watering it, and doing something cheap like spraying it with the organic neem oil to keep the pests off it. Protect it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you know, I hope I didn't bore you guys to death, but I promise you these systems and things that I'm showing you and what I'm working on this morning before I actually go out there and do it, because these are direct sow. I sow carrots direct into the soil and just let them do their big one. You know what I mean? And initially with carrots, you literally just make sure that the soil is, I actually recommend when you plant carrots to have reused soil that isn't contaminated. Like soil from last year that you can reuse. The reason why is because with a lot of these leafy greens and also with these other leafy greens, see, I'm dropping jewels on y'all right now. A lot of times with leafy greens, people wind up burning them out or stunting them. Either because they're planting them too shallow or because they're introducing fertilizer to them too fast. And the main one being nitrogen. But with that being said, if you recycle your old soil, okay, recycle it, keep it clean, take care of it. You'll watch a video that I just put out, and when I moved my polycarbonate house, I actually shifted all the dirt underneath the polycarbonate house, because when I shifted it, I had grow beds and all this. Watch the video. But I did that to protect the dirt, because the dirt still had fertilizer, and it still had things in it, but just at a lower dose, so that when the carrots are introduced to it today, it doesn't shock them, burn everything out, and I'll get it will propagate, it will germinate way better. You know what I'm saying? I don't like introducing nitrogen to these things until they're actually like maybe about almost 2 inches tall, to be honest with you, because I have enough in my soil to feed it. So information like that and things like that I'm telling you, for about $1.80, you can grow a sack of carrots. You know what I'm saying? And you know they're clean, you know they're good, you know nothing's wrong with them, you did it yourself. You know what I mean? And congratulations. So with that being said, because it's very rewarding, y'all. So with that being said, I'm not going to run my mouth, because y'all know I can. Y'all know I can. I need to make this list, and I got to start my day. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching. Welcome back. And if you're new, thank you for coming to check me out. I got videos on my channel. Check them out. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. I will see y'all next time. All right.